This is a book report, Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. Part one of the prompt. So, a chameleon is a lizard-like animal that has the ability to change its colors to blend into the environment, and it does this for two reasons. One, it changes colors so it cannot be seen by the predators trying to eat it and attack it. And the other reason it does this so it can sneak up on its prey. The prey doesn't know it's coming. And at first, for Trevor, it meant almost something completely different. That Trevor wasn't able to blend in at all. He was considered the only white kid in town, and I put quotations because he was mixed. He had a white father and a African mother, and so he did the complete opposite of blending in to his surroundings. But throughout his childhood, he realized that he could combat this through learning different languages, and he was able to bond with others through languages. And he says, I'd get suspicious looks from people walking down the street. Where are you from? They ask. I'd reply, in whatever language they'd address me in, using the same accent that they used. And this is just an example of Trevor adapting like a chameleon. Instead of being a different color, he adapted and blended in through speaking the same language. Does this not just to blend in, but to show that he belongs. And Trevor also says that because of my color, they thought I was a colored person. But speaking the same language has meant that I belong to their tribe. This is also another example of Trevor just becoming a chameleon. He's changing his appearance to feel the same, and feel like he belongs with everyone else. So like he's something he's not different. Being able to be considered a chameleon can have its benefits and it can also have its costs. And the examples that I use, the benefit is that even though he may not have the same skin color, he's still able to fit in through language. Although it does have its costs, having to change the language every time you meet someone has to be tiring, and it also just has to be kind of just annoying and sad that the only way you can fit in is just because you have the same different color. The only way you can fit in is by speaking their language, and that can be hard for someone. So the idea of feeling like you belong to something is one of the greatest feelings I believe someone can have. Belonging to something, having that sense of belonging is kind of what keeps people getting out of bed every day. Having come to purpose, having a belonging. And I feel like belonging and purpose go hand in hand. Because belonging to something means that you have a purpose, gives you a purpose in life. And everybody has a purpose in life. Although it may take a while for someone to find that purpose, but everyone is here for a reason. And everyone has certain personal qualities that make them unique. And I believe that it is those qualities that determine like what kind of friend group you're in, who your friends are. And also believe that the people that are already in the group will open up to you, including you and what they're doing and everything. If you are the right person for that group, and everybody will find that group where they belong. And I can recall a time when I became a cultural chameleon. So through my first couple of weeks in college, I had to adapt to the environment. It was a big difference going from my 200 student high school to a 20,000 student college. So I had to adapt in order to fit in and make new friends. And also have to adapt in different environments, having to read the room and see what everybody's almost like catch the vibe, I guess. And like just learning when to say what and what to say when. And not necessarily doing the same thing as everyone else, but change a little so I can fit in. And honestly, it was uncomfortable having to do this just to fit in and make friends. I didn't want to change who I was just to fit in and make friends. But I benefited of being able to fit in and make friends. And but yeah, it was just uncomfortable and something I didn't want to do just to make friends. And that was a cost of that. This is part 2 of the book report. So in Trevor's fishing analogy, where he says, give a man a fish you can eat for a day. Give a man a fishing pole you can eat. Teach a man to fish, you can fish for a lifetime. But Trevor says that they forget to mention that it also helps if you gave him a fishing pole to fish with. And in his fishing analogy, he says, it's the job of the privileged world to provide the necessary resources to be successful in life. And when he says privileged world, I think it's a deeper meaning. I think he's trying to say that there's not equal access to necessary resources to be successful. Noah believes that everyone should have the same access to the resources needed for success, and that sometimes the things that you need to be successful in life have to be given to you. So it was a responsibility of the government, my parents, to ensure that I had the necessary schooling growing up. The government's supposed to provide public education for everyone until they're 16 years old. But I feel that there's no such thing as an equitable access to these kinds of resources. Every student had that one teacher growing up that was just awful and didn't do anything for the class, just sat back in the chair while everybody had that one assignment to do. And everyone had a teacher that made such an impact on their life, that was great at their job. And also, the school that you go to depends on so many variables that you, as a child, cannot control, such as where you live, and then whether or not, if that's the case, where how much you can afford private school. So yeah, I don't think that schooling is equitable. I don't believe it's equal access for everybody. And I can recall multiple times in the past where I've been an answer to someone. People younger than me have come to me in the past seeking advice about different things. And I was able to provide this helpful advice because I had something they did not. I had more experience than them. Experience is something that cannot be taught to anybody. It's something that's gained, it's earned, it's given even. And when those people came to me for advice, I was able to help them the best that I could with the experiences and knowledge that I had, and just the experience I've been through. And abortion right now is by far the greatest issue in society today. It causes some of the most conflict in society. And I've chosen this topic because I would strongly believe that abortion is wrong. There's no way around the fact that it is killing an innocent child, all just because you don't want it. But I will say, although there are times, for example, when you have to choose between the mother or the baby. I still disagree. I still believe that abortion is wrong, but in that instance, I can understand a little bit better, why someone would argue for abortion. So I believe the fishing rod in this argument against abortion is parenthood. I believe giving birth and raising a child is one of the greatest things that two people can do. I feel that this is the fishing rod, because parenthood is needed to understand that what you're doing is wrong, abortion is wrong. And it's very rare that we hear people that already have a child to get an abortion, because I feel like those people that already have a child understand the beauty of childhood and the miracle that childhood is. So that's the book report on Born a Crime, Trevor Noah.